Right, that should still be going. All right, I believe we are live. Let me just check. All right, cool. Hello, everyone. So as we all know, Finale version 27 was just released this morning. And I'll be completely honest, I haven't used Finale in over a year now since I switched over to Dorico and have been having a lot more success with the software there from Steinberg. That said, I want to still, I'm very curious. It's been a while. I mean, it's been a couple years since Finale has released any new versions. And I'm looking forward to, and I'll be completely honest, I'm a little bit skeptical on what they have improved in this version. So apparently bug fixes were a main priority in this version, and but I haven't installed it yet. Let's go ahead and just get started. I just want to give you like my reactions to the whole process and see what's new. I mean, the last version I had was version 26. So I'm familiar with the layout, the look, and the navigation, and how to get through all this. So some things I might critique Finale about, you may agree with, and you may disagree with, and that's completely okay. Everything in this live stream is going to be just my own opinion, and you're allowed to disagree with me. That's totally fine. I'll give you my 2 cents along the way. So let's just jump right into it. So this is pretty much the standard. This is, by the way, the demo. I haven't planned on upgrading yet. If I want to, make music fonts. It looks good. Install. I do have they haven't released the release notes yet. So on the website, because the latest version is 26.3.1. I'm sure that'll be released and probably updated on the website either later today or sometime this week. Right now, I'm just going off of the Finale blog right now for all the so-called features. Yep. See, they changed the logo, and here's the funny thing about the logo. Doesn't it look kind of like the Facebook logo, just a little bit? Each version they have, they change it around. I wouldn't be too surprised if Facebook comes after them for this, because it kind of, I mean, let's be completely honest, it looks very similar to the Facebook, a Facebook logo. That's the first thing that hit me. Actually, I usually uncheck this box, but let's actually, just for fun, let's take a look at the README, just for fun. Is there anything interesting in here that's useful? No, I don't feel like reading all that. Nope, never mind. All right, let's go ahead and open it up. Oh, here it is. I mean, come on, that's the Facebook logo. I think we are all familiar with it. It's got the blue background. It's a very similar looking font. I mean, here, I don't know about you, but like, does that? I mean, that's I don't know. That's pretty striking. It's a pretty striking resemblance there. So I don't know. Leave a comment. What do you think? Are they ripping off of the Facebook logo? I mean, especially this one right here. I mean, I don't know, but I think Facebook will have a word with them on this. If I was Facebook right now, I'd be like, hey man, like the blue background, all that. I don't know. Anyway, let's actually get onto the software itself. All right, new this. I don't know what it's called. The opening. Okay. This is different. This is new. Okay. This definitely looks a little bit more modern. So far, so good. Tip of the day. This has been here for, gosh, forever, it seems like. Open your import. So it's a new GUI. It's just looks a little bit more modern, I guess you could say. Well, it's just different. Nothing has really changed here. Let's go ahead and just do Setup Wizard. Yep, this looks all familiar. This looks all normal. Let's do, what should we do today? Let's do just a piano. Let's do actually, do I have piano trio in here? Piano trio would be nice. I don't remember if there is or not. No, I don't think so. So let's do a piano trio. So what that's piano, violin, and cello. So we will need strings, violin, and cello, but I believe the piano is on the bottom, something like that. Yeah, I believe that's a string trio right there. We'll skip all that. Nothing here has changed in the last 20 years. It seems. So this is all pretty much normal, and it works. I mean, don't fix something that's broke. I mean, this is very effective. I don't have a problem with the Setup Wizard, although I had a thought about this earlier today, where the term wizard is such a 90s term, isn't it? I mean, you had Setup Wizards or a remnant of. I'm thinking of like old Adobe products, and just everything was a wizard back then. So we could do away with the term wizard unless there's a technical term for it. I don't know. Anyway, go. So let's go ahead and start it here. So they said that. So let me just pull up the patch notes. Let me get all this out of the way. Let's see. So bug fixes in 27. The tool palette icons have been improved for clarity. Let's take a look. So I definitely noticed a change in the tool palettes for sure. I assume this is transpose. What does this mean? Let me see. What does it say? Oh, resize. A resize. Okay. So they changed some of these here. These little icons, the palette icons. Let's see. That's a chord tool. I'm just gonna try to guess. What does law? Is this law with the eighth notes going up? That is that the transpose? That's the lyrics. Oh, okay. I guess okay, yeah. I mean that makes more sense because before it was like a feather quill coming out of an ink bottle, and that was like that was kind of ambiguous by itself. So yeah, I'll give that to them. That's fine. Page resize, I'm guessing. Page layout. That's right. Page layout. Okay. Yeah. Text tool. Yep. God, we still have the hyperscribe tool. The hyperscribe tool is such a joke. I mean, it tries. I mean, it would be really nice if one day like the hyperscribe tool worked properly. I've never been able to get it to work very well, I'll be honest. It's been around forever. Smart shapes, articulations, expression, repeats. So it looks, though my one concern I have is this does not look very clear. Time signature, I mean, I cannot read those 4/4. I mean, I know that's a 4/4, but it's, imagine a first-time user coming here and seeing that. So what do I like about this so far is already that okay, I don't like this grace note here. The slash is a little too low, but it's kind of colliding in here. But what I actually like to do here is go into preferences, see if I remember this. It's palettes and backgrounds. Yes, use large tool icons. This will blow up the icons. And even, I mean, I'm young. I mean, so I'm not, I mean, so I have pretty good eyesight, but even on like my big screen, my big monitor, it's still kind of hard to see these icons from the default size. I never show the rest palette. And I always show close subsidiary palettes when leaving tool. I mean, that might be useful for engravers, but like as a composer where you're constantly going to like the smart shape tool, which for some reason always gets that. So, I mean, I always just leave it open. Yeah, that's okay. It'll ask me to restart Finale. Yeah. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's exit Finale, and let's go back into Facebook again. I'm just gonna start calling it Facebook. I mean, it's so much looks like Facebook, doesn't it? Yep. Let's do this again. Setup wizard, and let's do a piano this time. We're not gonna really be writing anything. Keyboard. Here we go. Normally I'd say yes. Okay, this is much easier to read. Yeah, large icons make it much easier. I always, well, yeah. So let's actually go through some of the palettes, advanced tool palettes. Let's see. Oh boy. Okay, so these look pretty much the same. Note mover, I'm guessing. Yes, note mover. Image, graphics tool. Yeah, that's what I meant. And then MIDI tool. Yep. And then the Ossia. Has anyone ever been able to figure out the Ossia tool? I have never been able to figure out how to use the Ossia tool. One reason why I switched to Dorico. So I completely doubt that they fix this, but maybe we'll try that. That's just one thing that each version I try, I'm just like, oh, did they fix the Ossia tool? And it's like, no, it's just, you have to have a degree in like rocket science to understand how this thing works. It's just never fun to use. All right, anyway, simple entry rest palette, we just closed that out. Smart shape palette, let's take a look. Yep. Let's see, anything new here? Slurs, darn slurs. Nope, these look all normal. Tab slide. What is this? Custom line. Okay, yeah, pencil in the line. Because before it was like a star, like an asterisk with an octagonal design around it or something like that. I don't remember. This makes more sense. Yeah, I like that. Let's see what else. Window, special tools, palette. Yep, these all look the same. I mean, I guess I'm happy with the look. I mean, that's not, I mean, yeah, it's fine. I don't really have a problem with it. Okay, there's no weird artifacting, so maybe they fixed it. Though I do think, you know, what I'd really like to have in some version at some point is being able to have these be like snappable, like magnetic, to each palette, just to be able to snap to the palettes right next to them, instead of having like these awkward gaps in between. That would be nice. And having more of like and be able to like just grab anywhere on this palette instead of grabbing this little sliver at the very edge. That's just I'm just being nitpicky now, but okay. I'm not used to having my layout. I'm used to having my notes here, and my special tools palette would be over here. Okay, so let's take a look at what else we've got. The human playback samba and reggae styles now interpret the swing settings correctly. Cool. Navigating to measures on the next page in Speedy Enter in Windows now works with all methods of advancing the entry caret. Okay, cool. I use simple note entry because usually, I mean, my note, I never really understood how to get into speedy entry, which, I mean, some people swear by. I mean, here's the thing, once you get into like a system, once you get into a workflow, you try to, it's really hard to switch a different type of workflow. It takes a lot of time and effort and energy to do something completely different than what you're used to doing. So I tried using speedy entry in my earlier days of Finale. This was years and years ago, but I just never got it. It just never made much sense to me. So what did make sense to me was clicking on the score and then being able to play, like if I entered, like, I wonder if, yeah. So this is how I do it. So I have my MIDI keyboard hooked up to my computer, and I'm just able to simply, you know, enter notes just like that. And to me, that just makes a lot of sense. And then I can just, you know, enter chords and change my note duration with the number pad. So, I mean, that just makes sense to me. It just makes sense to me. And, you know, if you feel like speedy entry, I'm not going to, I mean, that's fine. That's totally fine. That's why they have both options here. And then, you know, so you can do stuff like that. So, all right. Yep, that all works good. Let's see, many outstanding contents. Okay, so one of the other things I wanted to try was the contents of the font annotation dialog box are now positioned correctly. I mean, a lot of these things are just lots of bug fixes, which, I mean, I'm glad they're squishing bugs. However, these I don't consider bug fixes features. They should just kind of be, I mean, bug fixes are, I mean, should you really be paying for bug fixes? I mean, it's basically a bug is something that's not right about the software. It's a imperfection with it. It's oh, sorry, we messed up. Can you please pay us? That's also one thing. It's just like, I don't know. There's a couple other things. Print progress bar is more accurate on Windows. I mean, okay. So I know when my print progress bar, I mean, I guess thanks. I think there's bigger issues with Finale than just that, being completely honest, but maybe that's, hey, you know what? Maybe that's useful for someone. You know what? Let's go ahead. So there's apparently what there is in here is SMuFL support. And for the love of God, I don't remember how to install. Installing fonts on here was a challenge. Let me see if I remember how to do this. And I don't want to. I really don't want to take up a lot of people's time here. Utilities. Maybe it was this. Because here's the thing. I installed Aruvab, which is Bravura spelled backwards. At least I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's It was a different type of font. Let me see. Font. Where would you do font? Oh, here it is. I think it's this. So I have Bravura, and Bravura is what we call a SMuFL font, which is what everybody else is using. So I'm just gonna try it. Is it gonna be as easy as that? Here's a way we can check immediately. Is Maestro font is terrible. Maestro font is very sharp. It looks. This might be Bravura. Let me see if I undo. Aha. Okay, so this is Maestro font. This is Bravura font. Do you see the difference? Do you see how? This is as far as zoomed in as I can go, but the main thing with Maestro font is it's very digitally looking, so to speak. It's got very sharp, very how do you explain it? It's got a very outdated look to it. Let's just put it that way. It doesn't look very artistic. It looks very mathematical. It looks very clean, though at the same time it's not the most pleasing thing to look at. And Bravura, I think Daniel Spreadbury did a really good job designing Bravura, because what it does is it implements, I mean, you can see just how much more beefier and thicker the lines are, especially when you're reading music. I mean, you don't think about it all the time, but the font and the way music looks on the page really affects the legibility and the readability of it for musicians. So fonts really do make a big difference. And I've never been a big fan of the Maestro font from Finale, so it's really nice to see that we have SMuFL support. So that is, this is great. This is fantastic. This is actually really excellent. I'm a huge fan of this, because before you had to have this workaround to getting this font in there, but now we have SMuFL support, which SMuFL is like the standard music layout font, which is excellent. I'm very excited about this. I'm actually quite pleased with this because that was very easy to do. Let's just throw in a couple notes here. Oops. Let's just see the difference. Yeah, you see how much more rounded off, like for example, the eighth note is, and especially you see how much nicer how much more rounded off and more organic looking the font is. It's much nicer looking. So, and you can obviously change whatever font you want. That's a SMuFL font you could use. I think November is one of them. And that's a very big and popular one as well. November's, it's a beautiful looking font. It's expensive, but it's very, very nice looking. That compared to, what was it? It was Maestro. There's a couple others. Where was it? Maestro, Finale, Maestro. There we go. Maestro. So if we go back to this, oops. Did I do something? Oh, hold on. What am I doing wrong? I think I'm doing something wrong. Was it Finale Engraver? No, I don't think it was this. Right? It was Maestro. Maybe it was. Okay. Oh no, this is different. I don't remember. But anyway, so that's great. That's really great. I'm pretty happy with that. Let me see what else we've got in here. Yeah, a bunch of little bugs along the way. Lots of little fixes. I'm just curious, does the Odyssey tool still work? I still don't know how to use this. Yeah, okay, yeah, no, never mind. Cool. So, yeah. So this is a big change. This is a very big. Yeah, I'm happy with SMuFL support. That's excellent. I'm just trying to see what else we've got here. In terms of features, let me just take a look at the notes. I have two of the same windows open, right? Oh, maybe no, I don't. Playback improvements. Advanced sharing functionality. Okay, so yeah, what is that all about? Share. Okay. A what? Yeah, okay. Yeah, they still need to fix that. That's just one thing. But this is a demo version, so I should have like 30 days. I mean, I don't understand. Well, I mean, I'd love to test it out, but I don't know how it does. So, I mean, what? Okay. Let's see. They don't tell us much. I mean, I have to start looking around a little bit more, but Valley version 27. June 8th. Music. Okay, so the other thing is it's okay, so there's Music XML 4.0 support. So when you're exporting to Music XML, then by the way, you go up to File. So this is something that you do when when you want to share music with someone who's not using Finale. So like a Sibelius user, or a MuseScore, or a Dorico user. You go to Music XML. Let's say you want this piece you want to show them. They want to be able to open this up in Dorico, or for example. You go up to File and you go under to Export. Music XML. God damn it. Why? All right. You go up to there and then you save it as it is, and yeah, you do that. But no, you can't do that in the demo version. All right. Fair enough. Can't test that. Let's see. Going down the list here in the Finale blog, let's see. Revised and corrected instrument list. Okay, let's be more specific here. Improvement, revise, correct instrument list. Finale version 27 launches with a meticulous reworking of its instrument database that will help you make music your way even more efficiently. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Read more. Let's see. Our improved instrument list reduces the amount of manual configuration needed for instrument setup. Okay. Minimizes the likelihood of not hearing any sound when playing your document. Okay, that's good because that actually is a big problem. Oh, that's cute. That usually is quite a big issue. Expands and improves our support for a wide variety of drums and percussion. All right, cool. Okay, I'm just reading the rest of it. Goals to have you entering music as quickly as possible, taking care of, okay, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, deliberate, hold on. They say here, deliberate. Here, let me just share it with you when I'm, nope, that's not it. Yeah, here it is. So the goal, deliberate attention has been paid to the diverse world of percussion. No matter what instrument you choose in the setup wizard, you'll be starting with a layout that enters the correct note heads at a logical location on the staff. Any appropriate sound. Okay, so this is probably, yeah, this is something that you do in the setup wizard. Yep. Okay, I didn't even think to look there. Okay, I'll be completely honest with you. I don't usually deal with percussion, so I'm probably not the best to judge on that to see how efficient this was. It's a trusty old tool in your tool belt. it's certainly old, that's for sure. One can learn some new tricks too when you depend on professional results and efficient workflow. Finale is ready. With these updates, you can rest assured that your compositions will be reproduced accurately during the playback, so you spend more time making music your way. That's fine. That's great. Does this mean they added new Garriton instruments? That's one thing, because when you download the demo version, you don't get the Garriton instruments, which makes sense because the Garriton instruments are quite expensive. So downloading the demo version is not the same thing as downloading the full version. The demo version just allows you to play around with it, and I wish there was a way you could actually demo the actual share functionality and whatnot. But hey, it's a demo version. I can't complain too much. Cool. Let me see what else there is. Scrolling down the list. Actually, I'm going to see if they updated the new features. Nope, they haven't. They haven't updated it yet. Playback improvements, bug fixes. That seems to be it. I'm just looking on the blog again, trying to see what else is available. Oh, here we go. Here's more stuff. Okay. Improvement SMuFL support. We just went over that. New features, sharing in music. Because we can't test that, I can't show you. I can't experiment with it. I'm going to just open up this and see. Here, let me share this. So here's the sharing functionality. While Finale has long been the leader in creating readable music notation, sharing your music with other users has not always been easy. Okay, while Finale version 27 sharing is a breeze, building on the basic sharing features that launched last year in Smart Music. We're excited to announce powerful new sharing features. Great. Upload and sharing music with others without leaving Finale. Okay. Store and manage uploads in a centralized location that is accessible anywhere. That is huge. That is actually really huge, if I understand the language. Store and manage uploads in a centralized location that is accessible anywhere. Well, let's keep going before I get too excited about that. Enable your recipients to play your shared music along with accompaniment and practice tools in Smart Music. I'm guessing this was a pandemic feature, if I understand this as well. What it sounds like they're trying to do is implement Smart Music and Finale more together. My old friend Marco, who works there. We went to school together. Good. Hey, Marco. Good to see that you're working on these things. Sharing in Finale is more important than just new product and service. It's a revolution in how you connect with other musicians. That enables your music to be sent, practiced, and performed more efficiently than ever. Instead of music making tools and share with Finale. Okay, cool. I still don't know what this does though. Because I wasn't able to test it, I cannot say what this actually does. It's for me, it's a little vague. But for those of you who actually do have the full version, it would be I'd be interested to know how this works and how this functions. Like I speculated before, the sharing feature. I mean, sharing basically just means you're getting your file and you're sending it out to somebody else. And the way you do that, the caveman approach is, I mean, you just find the file, you send it off to them, you just email it to them. And there hasn't really been too much of an issue with that. The only issue, there is an issue with doing that, is what's the issue with that? Well, mixing up versions. So if you're on one computer, and let's say I'm on my desktop right here, working on a symphony or whatever, and I'd like to, I have like maybe I'm taking a road trip. Maybe I'm taking a road trip somewhere, and I want to work on it on my laptop. Well, what I'd do is what I would actually do is I'd get a thumb drive, a flash drive, just load the file into that flash drive, my Symphony or whatever, and then just plug it back into my computer, my laptop that has Finale on it, and I just keep working it there. The challenge with doing that, the issue with doing that, is now I have an old version of the piece on my computer that's still named exactly the same thing. It's called, let's say it's called Symphony. I named it Symphony Number 1 as the file name. And when I come back, a week later from my road trip, I worked a lot on my Symphony. I wrote like a lot more music on it on my laptop, and I come back with it. It's still called Symphony Number 1. I plug it into my computer. I mean, and you can still upload it, but and open it in Finale in here. But the issue with that is that now you have two files that are called Symphony Number 1, and you'll get confused, and that is very easy to have corruption issues if you accidentally open this one file over another, and you can really undo a lot of your work that way. That's definitely happened to me before, absolutely, on more than one occasion. An easy way to solve that is to use the cloud. Is to have like Adobe's Creative Cloud enables you to be working on something and it to be saving directly to the cloud rather than your computer, and that allows you to just have one centralized location to be able to be editing over the course of time. And if that's what this share feature is doing, if that's what it's attempting to do, then that's brilliant. I think that is a solution that really needed to be fixed years and years and years ago. I think that needed to be implemented a long time ago, and that's fantastic. I don't know if it is. Part of me doesn't think it is. I mean, the way I really learned how these things work is actually just to play with them. It's just to go over here and just start clicking around. Interesting. I don't know if this was a feature before. I didn't know. Could you convert to smart music and whatnot? I don't know. Anything new in here? Anything new in the plugins? Let's take a look. Nothing here. No, all of this looks pretty much the same. Yeah, I don't think they touched it. Although you see some weird artifacting here on the left-hand side of the. You see that? I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little bit thinner. The highlight bar is a little bit thinner here. Yeah, that's weird. This happened in the other version as well. There must be something weird happening. I don't know if that's a graphical issue, but like, it's nothing big, but it's like, it just looks unfinished, I'm guessing that's probably because these are supposed to have checkboxes, or next to them, and I don't know. Yeah. Not the biggest issue in the world, but just, just a level of unprofessionalism, I think, from a piece of software that you're paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars for. So that's my 2 cents. Cool. So I think that is pretty much all of the things that I was able to find in here. I know I didn't do too much. I mean, this is just a reaction. This is just me just looking at the just looking at everything over in general. I haven't had enough to, obviously this is the first time I'm looking at it, so I can't give you an accurate assessment on whether or not this is a viable upgrade option for you. So, but here's my 2 cents. Historically speaking, Finale upgrades have been pricey, very pricey, about $150. And each version of Finale for the last decade, for the last 10 years, have been so minor. I mean, if you open up version 2014 or version 2014.5, you could easily do 99.9% of everything that you'll need to do in 2014.5. Just fine. It won't look very much different. And let's imagine that you are upgrading each year. So we have version. You have what? Since Finale version 2014.5, you have, so 2014.5, going on to, was it version 25 after that? I believe it was version 25, then version 26, right? Version 26, and now we're on version 27. Okay. Each one of these updates from 2014.5 to version 25 to version 26 to version 27, each one of those is an upgrade of $150 each. Now, you have to decide for yourself, depending on what version you're on, is that right for you, for what you're looking for in this? From the average consumer, my 2 cents, it's absolutely not. I mean, by 2014.5, it's stable, it's fine, it's a really good version. You're going to do everything you need to do on it. It's totally fine. Will you be missing out on some features? Yeah, sure. But Finale really needs an overhaul, just in general. It needs a new workflow. It really needs to be redone completely, just completely overhauled. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of workflow issues, a lot of things that don't work properly. So, for example, double-handed notation on piano, where you have a note. It's a very common technique. That's one thing that I noticed, just as an example. I'm sure other people can think of other examples, where you have like a note here, and you have another note above it, and you're trying to create this repeating note figuration. You can't do that in vanilla Finale. You can't do that with stock Finale, in other words. You had to download a third-party plugin. I think I downloaded JW plugins or something like that. You had to get a third-party plugin. You had to know that there was a third-party plugin that was able to do that. And you had this, I remember spending probably a week, easily a week, researching how to get that notation. And this is not a very, this is a very common notation in piano music. So it shouldn't be hard to do. It shouldn't be hard to reproduce in Finale. And the fact that it wasn't able to do that by itself was, for me, a little indication that it's missing something. It needed more to it. So anyway, so 2014.5, so 150, 300, oh gosh, what's my math? So 300 for 450, 500, so 600, so $600 if I'm doing my math correctly, if you're upgrading every single year. So you pretty much have bought since the year 2014, well, whenever this was released, I think it was late 2014 if I'm correct. So you have bought the retail version of Finale, essentially, throughout the course of 10 years. And what have you gotten? You've gotten bug fixes, which is great. I can't complain about bug fixes. But again, I have to reemphasize that bug fixes are not features. Bug fixes are just that, bug fixes, things that are wrong with the program that need to be fixed anyway. And each version doesn't really seem to be offering a lot to the end user. SMuFL support here for version 27, I love. This is fantastic that we're allowed to use SMuFL fonts very easily. This is like, it's about time. Very grateful about that. And about the share feature, sure. I'm assuming if that works properly and people wanted that, I don't know. Again, I can't understand what it really is, but I'm just going to assume that it works great. Fantastic. Is that worth $600 or $150? You know, let's imagine I'm on 2014.5 going to version 27. Is that really worth $150? If you're an engraver, maybe. Actually, probably, I'd imagine. I'm not an engraver. I mean, I'm sort of, but I mean, if I was using Finale, I might consider upgrading to this version just because of the SMuFL support. Because then I can use all my expensive fonts that I want. I can finally use my November font. If I use my Before, I can finally use my whatever I want. And I can use a house font. I think most house fonts are SMuFL supported, but I'm in uncharted territory for me for that. So maybe. I don't know. It's up to you. It's completely up to you. I'm still happy with Dorico because I'm able to do things much easier in it. The workflow is much nicer. And I might start making Dorico videos in the future. So, and the support team has been very responsive, very receptive. They care about the product. It's not perfect. To be honest, it's not perfect at all. There's some things I wish were easier to do in Dorico than in there's some things I wish were thrown over from Finale into Dorico, I'll be honest. So it just shows you that nothing's perfect and that everything can be improved upon. But at the end of the day, if they're going to keep giving all of these little incremental changes, which is good, I would almost suggest the software as a service option because you're implementing these things little by little, and it's really hard to swallow a $150 bill each time you upgrade. So I think they should go the Microsoft option. What Microsoft does for like their Microsoft suite is they allow you to either outright purchase a version. So like, for example, you can purchase, in this case, version 27, or you could have you could pay monthly, I believe monthly or yearly, and have a evolving, a constantly updated version of Microsoft Office. So they give you those two options. You can either pay up front, or you can just where you keep that version. There's no updates to it, so to speak. Or you can buy the subscription and have it be updated constantly. And that's what I think Finale should do. That's what I think Make Music should do going forward, because I don't think a lot of people are going to be buying this. And there's a lot of people who use this as a lot of composers, a lot of teachers and arrangers who, let's be honest, they don't give two shits about SMuFL. I mean, this is really an engraver targeted feature. The share feature, I mean, I'm not aware of how many people actually use Smart Music. Those who do probably will find this very useful. I imagine so. But yeah, I think I'll just end this stream right here. So, so there you have it. That's my thoughts on it. Yeah. So there you have it. That's my thoughts on it. And definitely leave any comments. I'm happy to listen to suggestions or what you guys think. Yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think. Leave a like if you like this. Subscribe if you want to see more of my thoughts on it. And That's going to do it for today. I will see you all next time.